You finish a delicious meal, perhaps pasta or a sandwich, and you feel satisfied. But 20 minutes later, the fog rolls in. Your eyelids feel heavy, your energy crashes, and you have an unshakable desire to nap. You might feel a sudden thirst that water cannot quench, or a subtle jitteriness in your hands. These are not just signs of a big lunch, they are the red flashing lights of a blood sugar spike. For millions of people, this roller coaster of glucose is a daily reality that slowly damages the blood vessels, nerves, and eyes, leading down the terrifying path toward type 2 diabetes. The standard medical response is almost always the same prescription: metformin. While metformin is effective at lowering blood sugar, it works by suppressing the liver's glucose production and can come with a host of unpleasant side effects, from severe digestive distress to vitamin B12 deficiency, which can lead to permanent nerve damage. But what if there was a natural compound sitting in your spice rack right now that could achieve similar results without the side effects? What if a simple leaf, used for centuries to flavor stews, held the biochemical key to unlocking your cells and dropping your blood sugar instantly? We are talking about the noble bay leaf. Often discarded on the side of the plate, this humble leaf is actually a potent metabolic medicine capable of slashing insulin resistance and regulating glucose levels better than many pharmaceuticals. Today, we are going to uncover why chewing or brewing just 2 leaves of this plant can break the cycle of sugar spikes and give you back control over your body's energy. To understand why bay leaves are so effective, you first need to understand what happens inside your body when you eat sugar or carbohydrates. Normally, your digestive system breaks food down into glucose, which enters your bloodstream. Your pancreas detects this rise and releases insulin. Insulin is like a key, it travels to your cells, unlocks the door, and lets the glucose inside to be used for energy. But after years of high-carb eating, constant snacking, and stress, your cells stop listening. The locks get gummed up. The insulin key no longer fits. This is called insulin resistance. Because the sugar cannot get into the cells, it stays in the blood, causing damage, while your pancreas pumps out more and more insulin in a desperate attempt to force the doors open. This is the root cause of the sugar spike and the subsequent crash. This is where the bay leaf, scientifically known as Laurus nobilis, performs its magic. Bay leaves contain powerful polyphenol and organic compounds that act as an insulin sensitizer. They essentially clean the gum out of the locks. When you consume the active compounds in bay leaves, they make your insulin receptors more responsive. This means your body needs less insulin to do the same job. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Biochemistry and Nutrition found that people who consumed bay leaves daily saw a significant drop in blood glucose levels, as well as a reduction in LDL cholesterol and triglycerides. The leaves work by slowing down the rate at which food moves from the stomach to the intestine, preventing that sudden rush of sugar into the blood. Instead of a spike, you get a gentle curve. But how do you actually use them? The title says, chew, and you can indeed chew them, but there is a right way and a wrong way. Dried bay leaves, which most people have, are brittle and sharp. If you try to chew a dry leaf straight from the jar, it can be unpleasant and even dangerous if you swallow sharp pieces. The best way to use the chewing method is with fresh bay leaves if you can grow them or buy them. Fresh leaves are pliable and contain the highest concentration of essential oils like eucalyptol. You wash 2 fresh leaves and chew them thoroughly for about 5 minutes before a meal. This releases the juices and oils directly into your mouth, where they are absorbed into the bloodstream and prepare your digestion. The bitter, herbal taste also helps to curb sugar cravings instantly. However, if you only have dried leaves, do not despair. You can still get the benefits. But you need to rehydrate them. Take 2 dried leaves and soak them in a cup of hot water for 10 minutes until they are soft, then chew them to extract the oils, but be careful about swallowing the fibrous pulp. For most people, however, the most practical and equally effective method is to make a medicinal tea. This extracts the active polyphenol without the struggle of chewing a tough leaf. To make this sugar-destroying tea, take 2 large dried bay leaves and crush them in your hand to release the oils. Drop them into a pot with 2 cups of water. Bring the water to a boil, then turn the heat down and let it simmer for at least 5 to 10 minutes. The water will turn a light yellow-gold color and smell incredibly aromatic. Strain the leaves and drink this tea warm about 30 minutes before your biggest meal of the day. By preloading your system with these compounds, you are setting up a defense shield against the carbohydrates you are about to eat. The tea prepares your insulin receptors and ensures that the glucose from your meal is shuttled into your muscles for energy rather than floating in your blood or being stored as fat. While bay leaf is the star, there is another leaf from the Ayurvedic tradition that deserves a mention for those with stubborn high blood sugar, Gymnema sylvestre. Often called the sugar destroyer, chewing the fresh leaf of this plant has a bizarre and powerful effect. It contains gymnemic acids which are shaped exactly like glucose molecules. When you chew the leaf, these acids fill the sugar receptors on your tongue. If you try to eat a piece of chocolate or a cookie immediately after chewing this leaf, it will taste like sand. It completely blocks the sensation of sweetness. But it does the same thing in your gut, it blocks the absorption of sugar molecules in the intestines. While gymnema is harder to find than bay leaf, combining the two, drinking bay leaf tea and using gymnema supplements, can be a nuclear option for reversing type 2 diabetes naturally. But let's go back to the bay leaf because it offers benefits beyond just blood sugar. Many people with insulin resistance also suffer from slow digestion, bloating, and gas. Bay leaves are a powerful digestive aid. They act as a diuretic, helping to flush out excess water weight that often accompanies a high-carb diet. They also stimulate the production of bile and digestive juices, ensuring that proteins and fats are broken down efficiently. This means that the post-meal bloating that makes you feel heavy and lethargic disappears. Furthermore, bay leaves have a calming effect on the nervous system. High cortisol, the stress hormone, releases stored sugar from your liver into your bloodstream. If you are stressed, your blood sugar will be high even if you haven't eaten. The linalool found in bay leaves lowers stress hormones, attacking the sugar spike from the hormonal angle as well. To supercharge the effect of your bay leaf ritual, you can add 2 common kitchen ingredients to your tea, cinnamon and lemon. Cinnamon is well documented to mimic insulin. By adding a stick of Ceylon cinnamon to your boiling bay leaves, you create a synergistic drink that hits glucose from 2 angles. The lemon juice, added after the tea has cooled slightly, provides vitamin C and citric acid, which protects the kidneys from the damage caused by high blood sugar. This bay cinnamon lemon elixir is a powerhouse tonic that costs pennies to make but rivals expensive supplements in its efficacy. It is crucial to address the lifestyle that surrounds this remedy. You cannot eat a dozen donuts, chew a bay leaf, and expect a miracle. The leaf is a tool, not a magic wand. It works best when combined with a diet that minimizes processed foods and refined sugars. There is also a physical trick you must use: walking. After you drink your tea and eat your meal, do not sit down. Go for a 10-minute walk. Walking engages the large muscles of your legs. When these muscles contract, they demand energy. They suck glucose out of the bloodstream without even needing insulin. This is called insulin-independent glucose uptake. Combining the bay leaf tea before the meal with a 10-minute walk after the meal is the single most effective natural strategy to flatten your glucose curve. A word of warning is necessary for those already on medication. Because bay leaves are so effective at lowering blood sugar, if you are taking metformin or insulin, you need to monitor your levels closely. There is a risk of hypoglycemia, your blood sugar dropping too low, if you combine potent natural remedies with potent drugs. This is a positive sign that the leaves are working, but it means you need to work with your doctor to potentially lower your medication dosage as your body regains its natural ability to regulate itself. Also, never swallow a whole, dry bay leaf. They are rigid and do not break down in the stomach, which can cause choking or damage to the intestinal lining. Always extract the medicine through chewing and spitting, or brewing and straining. The fear of diabetes and the exhaustion of sugar crashes do not have to be your destiny. We have been conditioned to believe that the only answer to high blood sugar is a prescription pad. But nature has provided us with incredible compounds that work in harmony with our biology. The bay leaf is not just a flavor enhancer, it is a metabolic regulator that has been hiding in plain sight. By incorporating this simple ritual, chewing the fresh leaves or drinking the tea, you are sending a signal to your body to heal. You are cleaning the locks on your cells. You are dampening the inflammation. You are taking control of your energy and your future. So, go to your kitchen, boil the water, and let the ancient power of the bay leaf wash the sugar out of your blood. Your body will thank you with a clarity and vitality you haven't felt in years.